in the home. Say, even I die, you're still alive. This is so bad. For what? They just say, CCP, I don't want you arrest me, repair my family, and extradition me go to mainland. I just say this, we can negotiable. We don't want to kill you. You and I go straight. We don't do anything. We don't do anything. Don't hurt you. But no, you are the criminal guy. This is counter back. You are the criminal. Who is the criminal? You as a criminal is the maker. You want is an anti-you criminal person. It's the criminal is the movement. This is so ridiculous, sir.
You've seen the way that the CCP has no belief in anybody's individual rights. They think they have a criminal mentality, and what they're doing in Hong Kong, they're using the Hong Kong police, right? Using the Hong Kong police to enforce the illegal extradition law. They've shown the world. That's one of the things that these broadcasts, Miles, have been so powerful. As Miles has done these day in and day out, we've got the West, the Western countries now can't look away from Hong Kong, right? Before they could look away, right? Because the mainstream media was not covering it. Now the whole world has to focus on Hong Kong, and one of the reasons is Miles Guo's, broadcast to put the world. But it's the little we can do is we're doing as much as we can do to try to make sure that this turns out in favor of the Hong Kong people, which is about freedom.
Thank you, sir. I read many Hong Kong friends say, please, I really appreciate, it's Steve Bannon help us about this. I really admire Mr. Bannon is the help us, give the now is for the West world. They get a big help. They get more confident. They are, they have, really, countenance you and me. We are follow, we world follows can help them. The world know the truth. They fight in Hong Kong. They want the world to know the truth.
In world history, people are going to realize what happened here is exactly what happened to the Patriots in 1776 in America. The bravery of the Hong Kong people now exposed on the world stage is nothing but breathtaking. I mean, it is absolutely incredible. The Hong Kong people in this audience have been an inspiration to everybody throughout the world about what it'd be so easy to surrender, right? They're sending the riot police now.
They watch yesterday afternoon Hong Kong time. They watch many people. They see this is definitely from mainland. This is PLA and Malaysia. Yes, very central. This is street, many the car showroom. We can see the life. They want to kill. This is not a war. This is the government. It's called police want to kill the people. This is too ridiculous. Hong Kong police want to kill Hong Kong people, but no one sleep. Who is a criminal?
Right.
This is too ridiculous. Yeah. No, today they changed the, it's the tear gas. It's more stronger.
More stronger?
Yeah, more chemical. It's unbelievable,
It's right there to see, for the world to see, the crimes of the Hong Kong authorities on innocent people, right?
Yeah.
The freedom of assembly, which is guaranteed in the Hong Kong turnaround documents.
You see, how long do you think about it? More, it's 18 hours in the street. But in the street, you listen. The guy's gone. That's too disaster. Nobody will have food. This is no human right. This is the CCP. This threatens the world. Even the 7 billion people of the world, nobody can stop the criminal. They want to kill the Hong Kong people by Hong Kong police.
Everybody also that doubted Miles from 2 years ago, almost 3 years ago now, since we met when you came to the United States, Miles has been saying the same thing. And when he first got here, all of Wall Street, all of New York, all of Washington, all of London. Oh no. He's crazy, man. You know, CCP is our partner.
Yeah.
CCP, you know, we give money to CCP. We give technology to CCP. CCP makes us money. You know, he's a liar.
Yeah.
He's a raper, right?
Yeah,
Raper, liar.
Importer.
No, but see right here on the streets of Hong Kong, Miles Kwok told you 3 years ago that was going to happen, right? Because that's what he's exposed to the world can't back away from is the criminal mentality of Xi and Wang Xishan and the entire CCP apparatus. It's a criminal organization. It thinks like criminals. And on the streets of Hong Kong, you're seeing that play out. I mean, this is a fact that they can't back away from.
And alive. You fight and alive.
Exactly.
Everybody can see.
They can't doctor this.
You don't need to verify. You just watch.
By the way, CCP, these are not people supporting the extradition law.
Yeah. 0-1.
Yeah.
You know.
Now, remember the lie they told the first weekend when 2 million people showed up. They said those were all their broadcast in Beijing said these were people supporting the extradition laws.
So yesterday, you know, Hong Kong is Stanley. Right.
頭先咧喺機場火場嗰邊嘅防暴警察咧，就突然間向翻沖頭方向嗰度推進嘅。咁咧，我哋咧突然間見到咧，就係影住直住咗示威嗰個位咧，就有一個示威者就俾人推往咗。咁咧，其實警方而家嗰個防線咧，就一邊咧就係喺嗰邊方向同嗰個就類似一個防線啦，另一邊咧就向住咧向住維園嗰邊進發。
Look at the police now, they're all over.
This is not this Hong Kong police. This is PLA. There's no doubt. No doubt. No doubt. 现在可千万别说什么七哥贡献了、求救了，兄弟姐妹，咱别说这话了。香港人民的水深火热之中，我们还谈我们的贡献，太无聊了，那是犯罪呀，姐妹们。I cannot sleep any second. Oh.
You ever stayed up all night?
No, you sleep in my bedroom. I know bedroom.
No. You told me that was not your.
No, I'm kidding. Yeah, I want you sleep. You know, in the there have the room. I cannot sleep.
Could not sleep.
Oh,
did you broadcast or just watch all
yeah,
that?
I broadcast and watch.
This live stream is from where?
It's Hong Kong. It's Apple TV.
Apple TV.
Apple
Jimmy,
TV. Yeah.
The people Apple, good people. Apple TV, not Apple the company. Apple the company's partner with Foxconn and CCP.
Also Apple. It's very good.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this is the two live. It's really good. This do good job. This is very dangerous. They try to kill them.
The cameraman.
Yeah, this is no doubt. It is the case. I watch this. I really want to go to Hong Kong, sir. You know, I can go to Hong Kong. They don't before kill me. I really want to go there.
What do you think about it?
But I fly there.
You'll be gone.
Not landing. They kill me. Use missile. Boom.
Yeah.
I need a missile, sir. I need a missile. ，Soho is a very big job center.
Yeah.
They in outside, in the boom, 这样 too dangerous. It's too narrow
streets, yeah.
A huge building.
Yeah.
Also, manager live there.
Yeah.
Crazy. This place, this is mafia. This is the mafia. This is the criminal guy. The old criminal guy.
Yeah, it's a criminal mentality.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
That's why the CCP ridiculous. They want to trial to this is their case. They never think this is a mistake. They don't do anything. They just protest. This is the human rights, democracy, right?
Yes.
It's legal.
Yes.
But these all the guys no legal.
Well, and and think about it. What they're protesting is the 5 demands.
Yeah.
And the 5 demands completely flow from the agreement the CCP did. CCP has never been able to make an argument in the world stage. You haven't seen Xi come forward. You haven't seen Wang Xishan. They've sent their functionaries, their grandoons, But you haven't seen anybody come forward and make it a case for why the 5 demands are not rational, are not logical, are not reasonable, right? Because they are logical, they are rational, they are reasonable. That's what freedom is. If you unite the Chinese people with English common law, nothing can stop them.
Yeah,
and that's what these kids in Hong Kong are fighting for. That's why this is such an important lesson for the entire world, not just for Chinese people.
Not for Chinese people.
What Hong Kong people are going to do is lead to the freedom of everybody.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen tomorrow, but it's going to happen. It's because of here.
Yeah.
The whole world can see this.
Yeah.
Right. And you're going to have a
change.
The world's going to have a choice between these dictators or between
and follow Hong Kong style.
Populism.
This is why all the we are world followers. You see, this is 100% Stephen Bannon populism.
Well,
Sir, this is really I really admire you. It's the leading the world. It's populism. Populism, I 100% great. Nationalism, no, I don't want. Populism.
I have to convince. He's seen too much of CCP nationalism. We'll have to convince you.
Yeah, nationalism. You see, this is race.
Yeah.
No good. Populism, I 100% I like.
Right.
I admire. This is Hong Kong. This is you created the populism 100% style. Good sample. Can lead in the world go to democracy and anti-dictator.
On another level, in Italy, the central government in Brussels is trying to take away the freedom of the Italian people. Now, it's a much smaller scale. It's not as blatant as here, but it's the same thing. Yeah. It's always the central government trying to take your rights away so that a handful can make all the money, have all the wealth, have power, money, right? And you just have nothing.
Yeah.
Right? That's what's happening in Hong Kong. What they eventually hope to do is take all the wealth from the Hong Kong people. Right? 100% and concentrate it. This is one of the reasons that one of the things that's so shameful is the tycoons in Hong Kong have not supported the people. They've been trying to play it both ways, right?
Yeah.
They don't want their money to go. They're kind of the agent of that. That's why these young people.
No donate.
No donate.
Leaders,
no
leaders.
Yes.
No Chinese prefer the democracy leaders.
They're not in front of the microphones. They're not condemning Carrie Lam.
Yeah.
Where's Carrie Lam tonight? Is Carrie Lam out here?
I don't see anything.
Carrie Lam is a great hero. Is Carrie Lam going to be nominated for the Nobel Prize for Peace? No. Is the CCP? No. Are the Hong Kong protesters? Yes.
Hong Kong now only too ridiculous. This root of the law is the very successful city. Now only can see the mafia police. Cannot see any government.
See, this Miles brings up a good point. Hong Kong is one of the greatest cities in the history of the world.
Yeah.
Right? Created with really no resources, right? There's almost no water.
No water.
There's very little vegetation. Nothing. It was a little fishing village.
No rice.
No. It was a little tiny fishing village, and from that fishing village, because of English common law, the Chinese people had rule of law.
Yeah.
You combine Chinese people and rule of law, the work, the hard work, the intelligence, everything with the Chinese people. With that, you're going to get a something like Hong Kong, right? An incredible city. That's one of the great cities of the world. I would say that with London and New York formed the 3 great, at least financial capitals of the world. And this is what you've seen. Now you've seen the CCP. And I have to ask everybody and people in other countries, if we knew this, which many people did in 1997, would the world have agreed to let Hong Kong go back into China? The answer is no. Right? The answer is no. And that's what's been so horrible about this. So have you told people we're in the desert? We're in the desert here in Arizona. I wanted to show Miles the border of the United States out in the high desert. And the sun is just about to come up over the beautiful mountains here. So Miles is also the gaffer, the grip, the cameraman. Miles does everything on these broadcasts now. One-stop shopping.
This is very dangerous. They are use this the fire and the bullet to the kids.
The rubber bullets.
Yes, rubber bullet. This is unbelievable. So this is another police. This is not mafia. This is criminal. You look, they use this. This can kill anybody.
That tear gas is so powerful.
This is tear gas and can fire tear gas.
Yeah. So look at that.
So this is
Wow.
huge everywhere. This is the CCP. Do you remember the 1989 in the Tiananmen Square?
Tiananmen Square. Same thing.
Before the day, fire. Somebody, get army get fire. The back the party put there, make them okay. You look at the kids, students kill my army. They are make fire, make all the city too dangerous, big risk. So I need to help you. So why I kill you?
Right.
This is the CCP, never change. All the same sense. This is crazy. This style quickly can happen in any city in the world.
Absolutely, no doubt. You saw this with the yellow vest, the gilet jaune in Paris. But I tell you what, you could see is this spreading to other cities in China.
Yes,
other cities in China, other people in China understand their freedoms. They'll never get freedom because this is the gangster mentality of the CCP.
This is crazy.
Well, Miles, everything you said was going to happen.
Yeah.
Well, how have you been able to predict so much of what happened?
Now I give you, sir. 我现在给班农先生一会儿给大家说的 I want to big something totally. Yesterday I give you just last night. I still looking for Hong Kong, but now here not central. CCP have another plan, maybe bigger than 10 times the Hong Kong. Later I want to sit here we talk.
Okay.
我们和班农先生啊，一会儿给大家会谈一个比香港事件还大的啊。Look, it's good.
That's beautiful.
比香港还大的一个共产党要干的事儿，要比香港还大的，你们想都想不到啊！我们已经，我是从来没说出口过。一会儿大家聊一聊啊，有些地方是马上要注意了啊，这是核心情报啊。这个一会儿我和班农先生我们会来谈这个事情，咱们的这个摄像机这个效果太好了，声音不知道怎么样，声音。You look, all the people love you, appreciate you. Speak English.
Well, thank you. I'd love you. Listen, I do this because of my great love for the Chinese people.
All the people.
Yeah. This is a duty of mine. Just like it is to do the populist movement in America, this is a duty of mine. The Chinese people are too good. This is outrageous. Anybody that does not stand up for the Chinese people and the Hong Kong people in this is as bad as the CCP because they're condoning what the CCP is doing. So it's a great honor to be on these broadcasts and to do this.
All the people wanted me to say I'm really appreciate Mr. Stephen Bannon how Hong Kong we are this about this. All the people say I really admire Stephen Bannon is in DC in everywhere is talk about Hong Kong the truth and can make good something happen. It's a lot of country and leaders, world leaders is talk good for them, big help. But just talking, no action. This just talking. This we are really upset.
Well, there's the potential. I think it's because of these broadcasts. Remember, if it wasn't for these broadcasts, much of this in Washington and New York people wouldn't understand, right? But these broadcasts that you've done now for 13 weeks. Right. Of course, you've done them for years on other topics, but remember, we first started doing these broadcasts 13 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Nobody in the mainstream media would cover this in America.
Nobody cared.
Right? Nobody cared. Right. And they thought, more importantly, they thought it was going to go away. And Miles kept saying, this is not going to go away. It's only going to get worse. Yeah. And here we are in the 13th week where it looks like, to me, they potentially could to call for martial law. The CCP's not going to be able to, this is humiliating them on the world stage. Yeah. This is showing Xi is not so powerful, right? So the whole world stage is saying, where's Xi and where's Wang Xishan? They can't control a bunch of kids down in Hong Kong. right? They don't sound like tough guys to me. So they're being humiliated every day on these broadcasts and these live streams. And I think this is the power of it to alert the world. And I think that there are actions people are taking. I got to tell you, I don't see the West allowing this to happen too much longer. I think they'll take away the free trade agreement. You know, Rubio has got he's got a very tough Democracy Act that's before the Senate, and I happen to think there's going to be action on that. They're back next week. I think you're going to see people on the floor of the United States Senate saying this is not acceptable. I think Rubio will make a speech as soon as he gets back, and he'll start to become, you know, he was a guy that they thought would be president one day, and he got beaten so badly by Trump, but he is a guy definitely that can be back into the mix of American national leadership, because he's taken the one topic is the Chinese people and the CCP, and he has taken the leadership on we have to take the West, because Hong Kong, showed the best of both China and the West. That was the symbolism of Hong Kong for so many decades, right? English common law, right? Rule of law with the Chinese people's smarts and entrepreneurial spirit produced Hong Kong, which is an example for the world. Do you imagine if we had Hong Kongs throughout the whole world? What would you rather have? 50 Hong Kongs right throughout the world, or 50 more CCPs? No, if you gave the people of the world a choice to vote, If you gave people of the world a choice to vote, would you rather have 50 Hong Kongs with rule of law and the Chinese entrepreneurism, or would you rather have more CCP, right? What would the vote be? If you gave the people in the Chinese cities of mainland China, the great cities of China, if you gave a choice between the Hong Kong model and the CCP model, how many would choose the CCP model?
100% zero.
Just CCP, and not many of them, right? Most CCP people would vote for a Hong Kong model, right? Because they understand that they're one day away from being thrown in prison, right? So with the anti-corruption campaign, this is ridiculous, as Miles would say. It's I mean, look at these.
Yeah.
What's interesting, many of them have the yellow vest on, which is the French gilet jaune, right? The movement of the gilet jaune. So it's very simple.
gilet jaune 是班农先生100%的 founder, he was 100% founder.
No. Miles giving inside baseball.
No, it's killing. 我不要让他当法律人。Yes and no. I think Macron founder.
Yeah, he was Macron founder.
Yeah. Same thing. This is
same attitude.
This is who's the founder? CCP.
He's 100%.
This is CCP found this.
This is Xi and Wang Qishan.
Yeah, Xi and Wang Qishan.
Right.
No doubt.
Right.
No doubt. Only two persons. Xi, Wang Qishan is founder. Not about us. You know,
Xi and Wang Qishan are having a bad day. Remember, the great thing about global communications, they're watching exactly what you're watching at the same time you're watching.
100%.
And this is not a good day for them.
100% same. Saddam remote to COVID.
Yes.
Same all the world watching. What is happening?
Yes, exactly.
This small country,
Exactly.
why Saddam send the army go there?
Exactly.
No reason.
Exactly.
So the guy back kill, American killed him before.
Yeah.
I regret to go to Kuwait, right?
Yes.
Same thing. 100%. Also, Japanese go to the remote country, same thing.
Yes. Yes.
This is the same thing. This is the history is back. You look at the people, they never try and can hurt some of the CCP. They just here, they home. This area is the street. Not
the side street.
It's the Kowloon.
Yeah. This is Kowloon side.
This is Kowloon side.
Yeah.
This is the Tongluo one. It's close to the central area.
That's why you have more tourists or whatever on the Kowloon side right now.
Yeah.
But it's getting ready to start.
Yeah. But the next is the Kowloon.
It's spreading.
Yeah, it's spreading. CCP today is very bad. They give you all the day, 18 hours. At 10 hours, give you tired.
Yeah, not tired.
Nobody, is the CEO talk to you.
Yeah.
They ignore you.
Yeah.
Then give you show time. Then it go to night time. They make a fire.
Yeah.
You look, the city is so dangerous.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Have to shut this down.
Your police, they make a fire.
Yeah.
They is the fabricators,
Sure.
they is the students. Then
give you a tire, somebody live, they want to arrest many people, they send it to me.
Oh, it's mass arrest is what they hope to do.
Yeah, they want
and then
to
ship those people
mainland.
and ship them to mainland.
Yeah.
Well, you'll never see them again.
Oh, sir, you need use your everything is support, push to President Trump, Rubio, McConnell, Pompeo, and it's the Vice President.
Even Democrats.
Democrats. Nancy Pelosi, Schumer, must be a
very
Hong Kong.
Yeah. Oh, I think Nancy Pelosi is going to come back after this break. I think she's going to be breathing fire. Remember, Nancy Pelosi really was elected during Tiananmen. Her number one issue when she's first to Congress as a young congressperson was Tiananmen.
Yeah. The rest of her, this is the guy is working with me.
Yeah.
I know all the full story. So this is why, sir, I think now it's the Hong Kong cannot go back. Today it's a big fire. There's more people. They threat. The police don't give the permit to go to the street.
No permit, yeah.
Yeah, they go to the street.
What are they going to do with the airport?
I think today not many people go to the airport.
Not many people.
Not many people. They have the program. I think later they go to the airport. So this CCP want to arrest all the people directly send them to mainland. The traditional.
Yeah.
This is the mainland.
Yeah.
This is the bad something happen. I really believe.
They can't allow the CCP can't allow anything to happen at the airport.
Yeah.
That'd be global humiliation for Xi and Wan Xishan.
This is not a good dream, huh?
No, it's not. Is this China Dream?
Yeah.
Is that China Dream? Does that make China great again?
Everybody lost it's the Xi Wan Qishan do the 18 conference leader. They create a China Dream, but no one know what is China Dream. What is the fucking
China Dream? China, this is exactly right. The 70th anniversary of the Chinese Communist Party is 1 October. Is October 1st. Is this what the 70 years got you? Was bloodshed in the streets of Hong Kong?
But sir, your next minute was very dangerous. To see
the arresting kids.
The arrested kids they wear purchased with uniform, black uniform. They don't wear the police uniform. They arrest the people. It's crazy. I love Hong Kong.
Yeah, they're not dispersing. Look at that.
I love Hong Kong. Because Hong Kong, I have more evidence. It's not CCP. It's really diverse. Also, I know Chinese nationalities very good. Even we have ruled out the law, we can make good something happen.
Everything. Perfect.
Yeah. You look at Chinese 5,000 history. Never seen Hong Kong can get Chinese nationality. Very, respectful and very
to the one leader.
To the one leader.
Right.
Never. This is the Hong Kong.
This reaffirms the one thing in the West, which is what the common law is that you, as a old 100 names, a common person. Remember the beauty of what from Athens to Rome all the way to the West to modern times is that you, as a little person, have as much rights as the king. The king doesn't have any more rights than you have.
Yeah.
The power of the American Revolution and the French Revolution was that, hey, the little guy is just as worthy as the top guy. Under the law, that's why the law is blind, right? Justice is blind. Justice doesn't see the powerful. There's no difference between Xi and those kids over there, right? Exact same. You have the exact same set of rights. That's what this all comes down to, is that those young people in the streets of Hong Kong are fighting for the individual has, and as we say in the West, in the American Revolution, our Declaration of Independence is these are God-given rights. No government, the American government, the British government, when Thomas Jefferson, these guys, the king in England could not take away the rights of the lowest, poorest person in America. Because those rights are given by God, not by a king.
Yeah.
Right? These rights are the God-given rights of these young people. And nobody, the CCP, Carrie Lam, nobody can take those rights away.
Yeah.
And here you're seeing where, just like in 1776, they're fighting for them. They're not prepared to back down.
Yeah.
That's what this battle, when it comes down to the pure thing, is that they have the same rights as Wan Shishan and Xi, right? And those rights are natural rights. They are given by God to these young people, and that's what they're fighting for. That's why this battle is so important.
More police coming.
And Kowloon side.
At the Kowloon side. This is more police.
Here they come right here.
Yeah.
So now we've had it spread from Central right to Kowloon side.
Yeah.
And I'm sure it's up in the new territories right now, right? On the border towns?
Yeah, this is correct. This is why
you don't think these guys right here are Hong Kong police? They look a little stronger. You think
more stronger. Also, it's very rude. Stronger,
rude. Right. No manners.
No manners. Look at the body language. I know the body language.
You see that?
You know Irish. You know, I know.
Yeah. Okay, now it's in the Kowloon side, right?
Yeah, to the Kowloon side. This is very dangerous. Just 1 second is some wrong happen.
Yes, 100%.
It's out of control.
See, now you see the girl. You have Americans and other Indians. I see other journalists and other people. See, the whole world's there now, right?
Whole world's there. Look, this is no Hong Kongese. This is mainland in Chinese. We are from mainland.
The guy checking things out.
Yeah. Look at the eye. Look at the body language.
Yeah. Oh, see, hey, see, right there. He has the shotgun for the tear gas.
Look.
They're about to shoot the tear gas here.
Yeah. Their any team is the 60% PLA, 40%, maybe 30% is Hong Kong police. Mm-hmm. They speak a Hong Kong language. Mm-hmm. They know where the route.
Cantonese. Yeah, they know how to get to the city.
Yeah,
right.
Decoration,
right.
Direction is where to go.
One thing we should say about the heroism too is the young people that have their cameras out that are following this. It's unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
The footage of this is. Remember, image doesn't lie.
Yeah.
Right? You can't. Wan Shishan and she can't get up there and. Where's President Trump's friend? She has she been? I don't think she's been out talking about.
Maybe
this.
drink more time with the Kim Jong-un.
Yeah. Well, no, the reason he hasn't come out is because every week these images show he's lying.
Yeah. This is 100% correct.
How can she pretend to be a world leader? And Wan Shishan. Bloomberg introduces Wan Shishan down in Singapore as the most important political person in the world. How can they do that?
This is the effect. Finally, everybody knows the truth. Answer: what is your world leader? What is your China dream?
Right, China dream. Right.
Yeah, this is China dream.
I think the China dream died in the streets of Hong Kong.
Yeah, just CCP died in the streets of Hong Kong. But no, they have the devil things. They want to do more bad something. Later, I want.
Martial law.
No, worse.
Even worse. We'll talk about that later.
Yeah, we need to talk about this. 一会儿我们和班农先生啊，给大家讲讲更加震撼的啊。
Okay, here we go right here.
This is unbelievable. Watch it easy. A few hours ago, they talk to me. They give pictures. Say, Uncle Miles, even you here 1 hour, you want to go back because too noisy. They boom, and it's the gas. Make you is unhappy. Also heart is boom. Yeah. Also, it cannot breathe. This is really bad
because of the extra strong.
This is crazy. Watch it easy. Even Wang Qishan and Xi Jinping come here, 10 minutes, they sleep straight. It's gone. Too big a person. This is true, sir. This is life. In the global, it's 5,000 years. Never have life. It's the same with this one.
Yes.
Never.
Yes.
This is the first time in global, where human history.
Power of the internet.
Yeah, power internet. This is why I always talk Xi and Wang. They don't understand what is happening.
Right.
The word you call populism.
Right.
This is the populism.
Right.
No central government,
Right.
no central leader, no dictator because of the internet.
Right.
You cannot lie.
Right.
Okay?
Everybody lie, but this you cannot lie in about this. The world has changed. This is old fashion. This is too old. This is the dream. All the dreams are about this, stone time. Not future.
Yes.
This is gone. This is no doubt. CCP is in Hong Kong. Is the die.
You know what's so amazing about Hong Kong and what's happening is that with the CCP and the destruction of the Chinese family, the destruction of traditional values, the destruction of classical education, Chinese education, what they've done to destroy Chinese society, right? To make it a slave society that they run. You've seen here in Hong Kong that with rule of law, right, and education, what young people can do. They're not prepared to buckle.
Yeah.
Right? They call these guys liars every section that they're out there, right?
Correct.
And they're prepared to show the world no matter how much they're beaten, no matter how much tear gas, no matter how many rubber bullets, right? They're not prepared to back down. And here, let's be honest, they've got the police befuddled. Right?
Yeah.
The police they don't know what to do. They're running around street by street, hitting them with tear gas. If this is what Xi and Wan Xishan thinks looks good to the world of an organized CCP effort, I got news for you. This is not a good look, right? This looks confused. It looks brutal. It looks criminal, right? Against decent, hardworking people in the streets of Hong Kong. And so, I don't know how the Financial Times and the Economist and all these papers can say that she's a world leader, right? If you're a world leader, it seems like you're not doing a very good job in you say that this is, your country, one country, two systems.
Also, you see, even this time, you look at the, tourists and the cars, all they can walk here, smooth.
Yes.
This is the miracle.
Yes,
This is the miracle.
Yes.
So who is the criminal guy? Everybody knows.
Yes. These are just people out for a Saturday night in Kowloon side.
Yeah,
right?
Kowloon side. This is nightclub all year.
Nightclubs and tourists. I mean, you see the tourists are all walking
Before
around.
Wan Qishan.
And you see a lot of Westerners.
Yes, 30 years ago, a lot of Westerners. Wan Qishan lived here.
Yeah.
They can, find the best girl, beautiful girl. Wan Qishan lived here.
Wan Chai was too classy for him?
100%. You look at this, unbelievable, huh?
But also the other thing about Kowloon side, look how developed Kowloon side got. I remember I first went in the Navy in 76, 77. Oh. Kowloon side did not look like this.
Yeah,
right. This is about the Hong Kong people, right? Yeah. Everything in Hong Kong is built upon the hard work and decency of the Hong Kong people, right? With rule of law.
Rule of law. They build upon rule of law. They build upon super city. They build upon very good society environment.
Yes.
Everybody respect. Good food.
Yes.
Very honest, very directly, very hard work. They also they very high quality life.
Yes.
It's very good. They build upon good
and it's not perfect. Obviously, there are big problems with the concentration of wealth with the tycoons, but that's the thing in a democracy gets taken care of over time, right?
Yeah.
That happens in every democracy, but it works itself out through legislation and the ballot box and everything like that, which is what should be happening here in Hong Kong. But the power of Hong Kong and the rule of law, these are called property rights.
Yeah.
Right? This is the difference in China. This is what drives me so crazy. That the West and the capitalists and the corporations and all the intellectuals who are all hiding now and don't want to talk about this. How is it that the Chinese people, as decent and hardworking as the Chinese people are, smart as the Chinese people are, they all come over here to Harvard and the top schools. They're all great students, right? So how do the parents and the brothers and sisters, how do you have a firewall that won't allow them to have any information because they're too stupid to understand, right? They're too dangerous. They'll be like animals. They're too dangerous if they had real information, right? So we can't have firewall. So Chinese people can't have any information. And how can they not own any property? In a great nation like China with all the wealth, all the land, all the material success, Shanghai, these magnificent cities, the third world, why is it just owned by CCP? Why is it owned, and why can they allow to take and money launder the money so it goes into New York City, right, for real estate, for Wan Qishan and his family and Xi and his family? A very important thing happened yesterday that people should understand this broadcast. A young Chinese reporter working for the Wall Street Journal, right, was banned from coming back into mainland China. He's a young Chinese guy working at the Wall Street Journal, one of the great papers in the world. And why was he banned? They did not agree with his visa. He couldn't get back in the country. One reason. He's writing articles about Xi's family being in money laundering, right? And as soon as he wrote that article, out, right?
This is ridiculous.
Why is it Xi's family in Wanshishan that own all this property and own all the wealth and then money launder it out of China into real estate in London and New York City?
Even this is fake. Why you fear this?
Right.
Even this is fake. Why you fear?
Exactly. If this is not true, if this is fake news, right? Why you kick the guy out?
We kick out this.
Right.
So you look at this, the reporter they talk everything very be careful. Very short article. Very not a long article.
Right.
They talk the name, be careful, information about the Xi family.
Right.
But even this is fake news. Why you kick off him go to outside? This is a huge leader. It's a big country.
Right.
You can give truth, evidence. This guy is talking fake news. Easy.
Right.
Why you kick off? But then it's like keep the firewall. Years today, all the China VPN cannot use.
Couldn't use VPN.
Cannot use. Crazy. Even Hong Kong, you look, all this connect.
Why is Xi, if what he's doing is so correct, he's telling the world that this is the right way to do it in Hong Kong, he should want all the people in China, mainland China, to see what's going on in Hong Kong. You can't see any of it. Why is that? If it's so smart, why can't the people in China see it?
All people see is English now. 战友们，我的英文太烂了。I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, you go Chinese.
No, it's your number one teacher.
No.
Your number one teacher. Your big heart, because Sir Steve is the very big heart. Very humble. Is making me more confident.
This is my teacher. I'm a young boy. I'm just a young boy. I'm just a young boy.
You as my
I'm a
teacher.
young boy.
This is my master. 100% my master. All the people you look at this see is really appreciate you see 100% crying. 文瑞姐姐英文好啊。The camera is so good.
Yeah. No, it's perfect.
It's perfect. It's so good.
This is good. This is.
Yeah.
This is how good it is. I don't know if you know this. Miles does all this now. He's the cameraman. He's sound. He's lighting. He's doing the lights. I've been directing films for 20 years. I can't do anything. I need a cameraman. I need my team, right?
I try another side. What's this hard?
You want more coffee, Miles?
No, it's okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. 先生要咖啡呢。Hello.
Hey, can I get more coffee, please?
You can sit here. Little bit rest, sir. Little bit.
No. Stand is fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
Trying to see what's
The sun's
beautiful desert morning.
Beautiful. So you can move outside maybe. We can move to outside maybe. 小韩，来。
Oh yeah, just get the desert.
Yeah. 我们到外面去来，要战友们看看我们外面的时光啊。
You want me to help you move that, Miles?
Easy. By myself. I can handle it. Trust me.
都过来弄吧。
你把桌子等一下我们开始。让战友们看看啊。
You get that beautiful mountain?
Oh yeah, I want to see. 大家看看啊，哇！你们看看，这个整个图桑啊，全都是这个树啊，全都是仙人掌啊。 然后你后面的石头，哇，这个发现陨石的地方 ，it looks beautiful.
Isn't that beautiful the way the sun comes up over?
Yeah. Here's this outside. It's beautiful.
Oh man, Miles, that's amazing.
It is amazing. You see it here? Okay. Oh, so beautiful. Look at this. Beautiful. The deposition is beautiful.
Isn't that beautiful?
Look at it. Look.
Wow.
Look at it. It's beautiful. Wow, unbelievable. So this is the camera, so good.
You want us to stand so you can get more mountain?
Yeah? Later we want to see.
Okay.
Wow, it looks so beautiful.
Oh, wow. These desert mornings are amazing.
Yeah. Wow, this is so beautiful.战友们看到这个山上的石头多漂亮，太漂亮这石头。I hope Trump president today is really make something happen. I hope Hong Kong. American need action. Too much talking, too much opinion.
I agree. We need to take firm, hard action.
Yeah.
Against CCP.
Yeah.
It's outrageous.
We need to stop them crazy way. Okay, it is too bad. Look at this, unbelievable, right? It's so.
Isn't that beautiful?
It's really beautiful. Look at this. Wow, this is 100% natural, right?
Yeah.
Also, the wall is so good, really good.
Look at this beautiful cactus.
You know, got the big TV. It looks beautiful.
Yeah.
So one is Xi and one Qishan. Don't know this. The word change. What is change? It's just a new technology word.
Right. Well, you can't keep information. This is information. You can't keep information from these people anymore.
Yeah.
We have to, as President Reagan said at the Brandenburg Gate in the 1980s to Gorbachev, tear down this wall. The firewall has to be torn down. Right. This information has to be able to get out. And what you see in Hong Kong to the Hong Kong people, for everywhere, has to get to the Chinese people.
Mm-hmm.
This is why I don't understand of what the argument that Xi and Wang Qishan make on the world stage. Mm-hmm. Why is it that the Chinese people, just very simple, two things. Why can't, three things. Why can't they have access to full information like the rest of the world? Mm-hmm. Are they too dangerous? Are the Chinese people too dangerous to give the information to? The rest of the world has it. What is so different than the Chinese people, number one? Number two, why can't they own any property? Why can't they own a property like people? If CCP is so great and so much better than Canada and Japan and the United States is so great, they got such a great idea. Why can't, the little guy in Japan and Canada, the United States and France and Germany, the little guy can own property? Why can't you own property in China? And number three, the rule of law. Why can't you just basically have the rule of law? Which the rule of law is essentially saying your God-given rights is that the littlest guy, the most insignificant person in this audience today, the poorest person, the person with nothing, the person that's struggling, has all the rights deemed by God. He has all the rights of the highest king that's ever been. He has all the rights of Shi and Wan Shishan. He has all the rights of any king of England. He has as many rights as the Queen of England, right? There is no difference. Everybody's got the same rights. That's the rule of law. And you'll be judged in justice based upon what the rules are, right? Not upon where your station in life is. Not about how wealthy you are, what your education is. None of that means anything. You're endowed with God-given rights. And those God-given rights are freedom of speech, freedom of assembly, all of that. That's what the Declaration of Independence, which spoke to all people for all time, right, is about.
Sir, you 100% is correct, but not, you're not Chinese. I'm Chinese. I'm from mainland. You know my family. You know my history. If for China, I have another two things. Number one, important. Another thing, China wants dignity.
Dignity, yes.
Chinese, no one have dignity. Even Xi and Wang. They know all the people every day is yelling him. It's the fuck, it's hate them. No one Chinese have dignity. This is one. Secondly, Chinese want family, mother, sister,
yes, traditional,
the culture,
yeah.
DNA.
Yeah.
China is no religion. Family is the religion.
Religion, yes.
The DNA. They want the family just safer.
Yes.
Just the two. They don't want your property. All the party own all this land, no property. They can, it's the make a success, can repair anybody. They shut up. But they say, please, go more safer, go more dignity. They say, no. I want you 100% agree me. Yes. I can repair your family.
Yes.
I can kill you. I can tradition Hong Kong people go to mainland.
Yes.
This is everybody. Please, give me a little bit. Give me a little bit dignity. This is fundamental reason. Then you see this money, property, land, safe, education, rule of the law. These are two luxury.
Yes.
For Chinese, yes. You talk this.
Yes.
Chinese, oh my God, they put the guns here. They want to kill me. They want to repair my family. They take my all the property. They want me senator. I agree. So Hong Kong say, I don't agree. You don't agree? You criminal. I kill you. So you talk this everything root of the law, land, property, education, house care system.
You think that's so far above where the Chinese
so far away.
That's a luxury right now.
You talk this same with the American. Chinese, no food, no bread, but you can eat the beef.
Right.
No,
we'll cut
Chinese
deal.
need bread, just. So, 班农先生刚才说的什么意思呢？就是说，作为共产党来讲，你在香港，你连起码的人民的安全、资产保护、法治都没有。我说现在真的是不到这个程度，中国人家要是基本的安全和家人的就是人的一个基本的尊严都没有了啊。但是班农先生说对了 ，But sir, why I love very much your populism. Populism is make everybody is equal.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Then everything we can negotiable.
Yes.
This is the Ind is the root of the law area. We don't need to kill each other. We can talk.
Right.
Same with Trump, we can make a deal.
You can argue.
They argue. But they don't want they don't want the ego. It's just you are a slave.
Right. 100%.
I was a king.
Yes.
You, everything is by me. Everything pursues me. You must listen to me.
Yes.
Even say no, you doubt me, kill you.
Yes.
This is the Hong Kong. What has happened? 我是叛逃的第8章。Everybody loves you talk. Everybody loves you see. Populism is everybody is ego relationship.
Yes.
Yeah.
Populism is going to come to China. Populism is going to come in our lifetime. Populism, I think, very quickly is going to come to China.
Sir, even you really don't know. Last night we all talk about Hong Kong and the mainland people. They say Steve Bannon populism is first to go to can happen in the country, not America, not Europe. It's China. China is late, but the leaders go to first.
Yes,
why?
Yes.
Chinese is too much. How can I say? Really need.
Yes.
Not a great desire.
Strong desire.
Desire.
Yes. Their heart will be into it.
Oh, today our English is so good, sir.
You're good.
Sorry.
Good. No, you're very good.
I'm kidding.
By the way, what we should do, the people didn't see last night, but Miles gave a 2-hour lecture on the master gave 2-hour lecture on Chinese history. That was as much Chinese history as I've studied as a foreigner, as a foreign devil. It was magnificent, and we'll film that one day, and because it helps people in the West understand better, right? Because people in the West have a very tenuous understanding of Chinese history. Because remember, most Chinese history is all given by writers from universities who kowtow to CCP, right, and get access by CCP. So they really kind of put out the CCP version of history. You don't really understand Chinese history until you have someone like yourself who does not fear CCP, right? You have very little of that. The voices in China that have been trying to tell people that have been suppressed. That hasn't gotten out.
I give you some perfect. I think good perfect because I talked you before. 昨天我跟班农先生呢，在这块儿我们谈了2-3个小时关于中国的历史。班农先生都来看一本书叫《太平天国》。太平天国。What's the name? Is the English?
Taiping Rebellion.
Taiping Rebellion.
I'm a student of the Taiping Rebellion.
Yeah.
Very
good. This is the time short term, but very good.
Most bloody. I was saying to Miles, we focus on our Civil War, which was where we freed the slaves, and it was a huge civil war, and really almost destroyed our country. But 600,000 people died, and many millions injured. But at the same time, the Taiping Rebellion. 30 million. More people died in the Taiping Rebellion. Twice as many as lived in all of America at the time.
Yes. 我给班农昨天讲，我说你看太平天国的时候呢，你要看一个张治中啊。看张治中的时候，然后他说为什么中国的男人那么弱啊？为什么共产党在中国70年？说这个为什么汉人骨头那么软？我告诉他说，你要看中国的小脚女人。还有男人留了辫子那么长几百年，大清朝让女人裹上小脚就成为一个生殖工具，玩弄的工具，一块肉啊！我的老娘还是小脚呢啊！我的母亲裹了一点点啊！这个他很震惊，几百年。我说你一定了解这个啊！然后再从大清朝往前看，宋徽宗什么下场啊？明太祖到中国干了啥？1566是吧？然后你再看一看这个整个的元朝啊，忽必烈在中国干了什么？然后再看看唐朝啊，武则天怎么把自己的这个族给灭了？班农先生看了这个，听这个我们昨天他很兴奋，因为外国人了解了中国历史以后，他就知道啊，真的是这个张献忠，你就知道中国人是世界最狠的。I see in the history, human history. Only one nationality is Chinese. Kill each other. It's terrible. Many times they eating each other. Eat the child. This is not a killing. This is history, truth. And they kill more 70% people, 80% people. 30 million is the Taiping. In the China, look at the history. It's not worse. Not worse. Qing Dynasty, Xi and Wang really admire Qin Shi Huang. They like think, I'm the Qin Shi Huang. Qin Shi Huang killed how many people? 70%
of Chinese people.
Yeah. Then even him die, pass away. They kill all the people, soldiers, all the young kids, all the wife. With him go to the moon.
Yeah.
This is the number one in the world. Even Egypt
is how many people? 150. They kill nearly all the country, 70-80% people. Even they possibly they want to take out people. So American Western world even now, China have a good, civilized culture, food, philosopher, and China is the good family DNA. It's China religion. China very kind of hard job, but China is no root of the law.
Right.
China is lacks courage. They lacks courage, all the man. It's all the Chinese don't respect the women. This also no ID knowledge. In the ID knowledge, they no idea is ego, is how good. They just think two sides. I'm the king, you're the slave. And maybe I'm slave, you king, I kowtow with you. Only two sides, no ego. You kowtow here, begging me, I'm the king. And you maybe sit here, I begging you. This is too bad. This is why China needs the rule of the law. China needs to learn west side, use the 500 years. They have the rule of the law. They have a democracy. They have the equal relationship. This is very important. How do you think, sir, Hong Kong, even today, go to disaster way, kill people. They arrest the 100, 1,000, 10,000 people, like tradition to go to mainland. What else can happen in America, in Europe? International service.
I think if they declare martial law, in Hong Kong, based upon the freedom-seeking young people in Hong Kong, I happen to think the world comes together and you're going to start to see, take away the free trade zone, take away the capital movements, etc. And if they continue the violence, if they try to do a Tiananmen, I think that's where the West comes together, and that's where the CCP starts to collapse, right? But I think you're seeing here that the world's got to understand, and many in the world that were making money with the CCP would just hope it go away, right? When the CCP came out this week, Chinese Hong Kong authorities have said there's not going to be any protest over the weekend. We're not going to allow it, right? No airport, no gathering in the streets, and you see that all day long they've had it moving around Hong Kong, and then tonight the violence perpetrated by the Hong Kong police. And so, this thing just continues to deteriorate. Also, the missing element here is Carrie Lam. Where's the Hong Kong authorities? Where they're in hiding, right? You never see him come out. You never see him engage the public. They've not engaged the protesters. They've put that on the Hong Kong police, whose popularity now is like 2%, right? And that's because the cowardice of the CCP, the cowardice of the Hong Kong authorities, and quite frankly, the cowardice of the Hong Kong police. So this situation is only going to continue to deteriorate. And the West is going to have to make a decision, right? How much is enough? When is it too much, right? And here's how the West and the leaders, I think, are going to be forced to do that, is broadcasts like this, or what Apple's doing right now with the young people with the cameras showing the whole world that she can't lie about that. Wan Qishan can't lie about that. Carrie Lam can't lie about that. Those images are fact, right, not opinion. And as long as that keeps coming, the West is going to be forced to stand up to its ideals. And its ideals are the rule of law. Its ideals are what's being fought for in the streets of Hong Kong, right? Equal justice before the law. Equal justice before the law.
Equal justice before, so good. You think even this goes to disaster the way they kill people, American can immediately stop with China any economy relation?
Well, Trump said yesterday, that he believes his negotiation with the trade deal has actually kept it from being a Tiananmen. He said humanely as possible. Now, look, as you know, I'm a huge supporter of President Trump and love what President Trump's done, the engagement. I don't agree with President Trump on everything. I certainly don't agree with everything on Hong Kong side. But his point is that he knows that the CCP, what they want is a trade deal with the West, right, to get back to a more booming economy. And the reason that you don't have a booming economy in China is very simple. They've built up a Ponzi scheme. The entire Chinese economy is for one thing, so that the leaders can skim as much money off the top as possible, basically steal, right, and use agencies like H&A and Anbang Insurance Company, and even Huawei, to launder that money into the West, and to get their money really out of China and put it into real estate in London, in New York, in places like that, to get it out of China, and that system just can't keep going on, right? That has to stop. The wealth and the growth of China has to be shared with the Chinese people. It just can't be skimmed off the top. That is leading towards tremendous disequilibrium, and the reason is that the entire Chinese financial system is a Ponzi scheme, right? That's kind of patchwork together.
A Ponzi scheme.
Ponzi scheme, and really of no thought at all to the hardworking Chinese people. They can lose all their savings. They have no retirement, right? There's no labor law. The suicide rates in these factories are the highest in the world. And the reason is that's very simple. They're run like slave labor factories, right? Where the Chinese people don't have rights of workers throughout the world, right? They don't have anywhere near comparable wages, and they're basically treated like slaves, right? This whole system has to stop. It has to stop. And on the streets of Hong Kong, you're seeing the very beginning of how it's going to stop, where people who have had a taste of freedom, they just had a small taste of freedom, are not prepared to give that up. And what I keep telling everybody in the West is that, hey, if you see the Chinese people, the hardworking, smart, family-oriented, tough, will not quit, and very entrepreneurial, you couple that with the rule of law. That is what's made Hong Kong from a tiny fishing village. A tiny fishing village. Remember, when in 1841, when the British came to Hong Kong, it was a tiny fishing village. London was already the biggest city, the most important city in the world, right? New York City, it was right before our Civil War. New York City was about to establish itself as a global center of finance, which happened right after our Civil War. New York and London became through. Hong Kong was a fishing village with a few guys and junks with nets. That's Hong Kong was there. These other two cities were already on the one was the global capital of the world, London. New York was about to was a few decades away from becoming the most powerful financial center in the world around the United States. Hong Kong was a fishing village. And you look at today, you have New York is very powerful, London's very powerful, but Hong Kong is the third great capital market in the world. How did that happen? In less than 200 years, how did Hong Kong come from a fishing village to a major thing? It's very simple. Here's what happened. The entrepreneurism and the intelligence and the heart of Chinese people coupled with English common law, rule of law. You combine those two, Hong Kong is what you get, right? And you could have all of China could be Hong Kong if you have the rule of law. If the people in China, and this is the thing that the Chinese people, and I realize about the dignity, but what's called natural law is there's no king, there's no government, there's no emperor, there's no political leader like Xi. It's not Donald Trump. Donald Trump does not give the rights to the American people, to the deplorables. Those rights are deemed by God to the deplorables. And remember, the smallest person in the United States has as many rights as Donald Trump, right? And before the law, they're both considered equal. That's what has to happen in China. And quite frankly, it's outrageous that we're in the 21st century with the internet, with all the powers of technology. The rest of the world's got all these benefits, and yet all the benefits of the world are used against the Chinese people, right? The rest of the world, even in the most depressed countries in Africa and in Central America and South Asia, and parts of Pakistan, and parts of India, up in Kashmir where they're fighting, they still have free access to the internet. They have free access to information. All throughout the world, they have total access to the internet. They can go to Glow Media right now and watch us. Every depressed, but you can't do that in China. Yeah. You can't do that. You can go to the greatest university in China, to Beijing University, these great universities, right? And the kids there do not have access to what the poorest person in sub-Saharan Africa, or in Central America, or in South America, or in places in South Asia like Bangladesh. In Bangladesh, as poor as Bangladesh is, the Bangladesh people have full access to the internet. And the Chinese people, the top student at the best university in China, has less access to information, demonstrably less access, than the poorest person in Bangladesh. How can that possibly be? How can Xi and Wang Xishan justify that? It's insane. That's insanity, right? That's insanity. And you look at some of these countries, even the poorest person owns more property than the most intelligent, hardworking person in mainland China. That's absurd. It's ridiculous. That system cannot continue on. That's the way I keep saying, Miles, is the great story of the first half of the 21st century is the freedom of the Chinese people. And the Chinese people, it's the West can't deem the freedom to them. It's going to come from the Chinese people. The Chinese people are going to take it in their own hands, and that's what Hong Kong's about. In Hong Kong, the lie stops, right? The lie, you can't lie anymore. They've lied to the whole world. When Xi went to Davos in 2017, 2 days before Trump's inaugural speech, he was praised. They kowtowed to him. They kowtowed to him because he talked about globalization. He talked about the China model. Now, they knew about the Uyghurs. They knew about the Dalai Lama and the Tibetan Buddhists. They knew about the underground Christian church. They knew about Falun Gong. They knew about the suppression of rights in Hong Kong. They knew about everything they were taking away from Hong Kong. It was just a couple of years ago. Yet the capitalists and the corporations and the people in Davos were like, Xi and the Chinese system is perfect. The lies of that are, you see, in the streets of Hong Kong. And that power of, and here's what's so powerful. It would be so easy. The easy way is for those kids to lay down and say, okay, fine, we'll go back to school and we'll just do it. It's not easy doing what they're doing. Being tear gassed, being beaten, having rubber bullets shot at you, right? Being told that you're going to be thrown in jail and stay 7 to 10 years, disappear, and you're never going to have a career. You're never going to work for a good company. You're never going to work for a bank. You're never going to have anything. Your family's going to be destroyed. And still, they refuse to surrender. That's why this is historical. 100 years from now, 200 years from now, they're going to look back at the time we're living in, and they're particularly going to look at the young people in the streets of Hong Kong that had every incentive. Because Xishan just saying, if you just go off the streets, if you just go home, it'll be fine. Everything will go back to normal. Everything will be fine, right? Which is a lie, and they know it's a lie, and that's what they're fighting. They're fighting for their children and their grandchildren. These people are in their 20s, their children and their grandchildren, but they're also fighting for everybody that came before them, right? They're fighting for every generation you just talked about in China that didn't have anything, right? These kids have had a little bit of taste of it, and they're not prepared to give it up. That's what this whole thing's about. In Hong Kong, they have a very slight taste of freedom, right? And they're not prepared to give it up. That's why the story for the 21st century is remember, so many people in China died in the 20th century. Famines, starvation, cultural revolution, civil wars, World War II. The 20th century in China will be looked at as
half a billion people,
just a bloodbath, right? Then the enforcement of the one-child policy, just a bloodbath, right? Of just complete chaos and anarchy and famine and blood and just everything. It's horrible. And the 21st century, you're going to see the people of China saying, I've had enough, right? We deserve as many rights as the rest of the people in the world. Why? We're Chinese people and we don't deserve rights? That's what's so ludicrous about this. Everything the Chinese people have accomplished in science and technology and culture. If you remember the 2008 opening ceremony for the Olympic Games, as powerful as that was, of all the great beauty and the history of China, and people sat there and go,
One world, one dream.
One world, one dream, and the whole beauty of the calligraphy. Remember the skater, the director, the famous director, I think so. Someone you know very well is just did a magnificent job. But with that, they're treated like slaves, and that can't go on because the internet. You can't hide from these images. You can't. The internet connects everybody. Those kids in the streets of Hong Kong are putting these images up every day. And Xi and Xishan, hey, let them go to Davos this year and talk about what they did in Hong Kong, right? Let them talk about what they did in Hong Kong. And what they won't do is allow free press. The one Chinese guy that writes, like you said, a short story, and what was it about? It was about money laundering, right? It was about Xi's family is in the money laundering business, right? They're in the money laundering business, and that is coming. And of course, the guy's dismissed right away. So,
this is unbelievable. 1.4 billion country leader just for small voice talk the truth. They do the job. They do good job, professional job. They kick off. They use the country, the power, the force, kick off him. This is unbelievable. Even 1,000 years ago, Roman time, don't do this.
Don't do that.
This is crazy.
Well, this is what it's what the people and young people in Hong Kong are also showing is the hypocrisy of the West, the hypocrisy of the leaders, the hypocrisy of the capitalists in London and New York City, and the corporations. All, if you look at we're so inclusive, we're so. When it comes to China and it comes to CCP, where they're making so much money, right? They're making money because of the suppression of the Chinese people, right? When it comes to exposing those lies, they don't, they don't want to discuss it. They don't want to break the business model that's made them so much money. So this is a disgrace. It's a disgrace to the West that we're not standing up with a more unified voice and calling out the criminality of the gangsters that run the Chinese Communist Party from Beijing, particularly Xi and Wang Xishan.
战友们啊，我跟班农先生现在我已经是从昨天，Sarah 昨天在这里，本来是昨天这里下午6点直播，一直坐在这里，都快晚了，让他回去了，因为班农先生要睡一会儿。我也到现在我也没换衣服，也没洗澡，因为班农先生站着我的卧室洗手间，我也没刷牙。早餐已经来了，我们去吃早餐跟班农先生，然后我刷个牙，洗个澡，换换衣服，回头我们再直播，好不好？再报告香港情况。亲爱的战友们，一会儿再见，我先关一会儿啊，谢谢大家。有什么香港现实的信息，请发给我，谢谢。We go to the breakfast, then we go back. Burger, so good, perfect. Look at this machine, so good.
It's unbelievable.
Look at this, easy.
Unbelievable. It looks amazing.
Yeah, high quality.
High quality. Super high quality.